June 16th, 2024. A warm Sunday evening in Houston, Texas. The streets were quiet. Families gathered inside their homes. Children prepared for the week ahead. But somewhere in the city, a little girl was walking alone. Her name was Jocelyn Nungaray. She was only 12 years old. That night, Jocelyn stepped outside, unaware that she was about to encounter two men who would change everything. Two men who did not belong in her world. Two men who would ensure she never returned home. Hours later, a gruesome discovery would shatter the peace of this Texas city. Jocelyn was found dead in a drainage ditch beneath a bridge. Strangled, abused, abandoned. The police who arrived at the scene had seen violent crimes before. They had seen victims of brutality. But this was different. This was a child. Investigators pieced together her final moments, following a trail of surveillance footage and forensic evidence. It led them to two suspects, Franklin Jose Pena Ramos and Johan Jose Martinez Rangel. Both men had crossed the U.S.-Mexico border illegally just months before. Both had been released into the country with a notice to appear in court at a later date. Neither had any ties to Jocelyn before that night. Yet, within hours of encountering her, they had committed an act so heinous that it left an entire community in disbelief. What happened that night? How did Jocelyn find herself in the company of these men? And why did her life end in such a cruel and violent way? This case is more than just a crime. It's a tragedy that raises questions about justice, safety, and the reality of human evil. A story of innocence stolen, a family broken, and a nation left searching for answers. In this video, we walk through the chilling final hours of Jocelyn Nungaray, the investigation, the arrests, and the trial that could determine whether justice will truly be served. This is the story of a child whose name should never have been in the headlines for such a reason. A story that cannot and will not be forgotten. Born on December 27, 2011, in Houston, Texas, Jocelyn Nungaray was a child who embodied the enchantment, joy, and magic of the Christmas season. Her family affectionately called her a Christmas baby, a testament to the light and warmth she brought into their lives. Jocelyn was raised by her mother, Alexis Nungaray, in a modest apartment in North Houston. As a single mother, Alexis worked tirelessly to provide for her two children, Jocelyn and her younger brother, who was just 5 years old at the time of her passing. Despite the challenges, their home was filled with love, laughter, and the close bond of a tight-knit family. From a young age, Jocelyn exhibited a compassionate and caring nature. She was known among her peers as a loyal friend, always ready to lend a helping hand or a listening ear. Her teachers often spoke of her enthusiasm for learning and her inquisitive mind. She had a particular fondness for reading, often getting lost in the pages of her favorite books. And she dreamed of one day becoming a teacher herself, hoping to inspire other children the way her educators had inspired her. In her free time, Jocelyn enjoyed playing outdoors, riding her bicycle through the neighborhood streets, and spending hours at the local park. She had a creative spirit, often engaging in arts and crafts projects, filling the family's apartment with her colorful creations. Music was another of her passions. She loved to sing and had recently started learning to play the guitar, practicing diligently in hopes of performing in her school's talent show. Her relationship with her younger brother was particularly special. As the protective older sister, Jocelyn would often read him bedtime stories, help him with his homework, and include him in her adventures. The two were inseparable, and her absence left a void that words could scarcely describe. The news of Jocelyn's tragic death sent shockwaves through the Houston community. Neighbors who had watched her grow up were left in disbelief, struggling to comprehend how such a vibrant young life could be so abruptly and violently taken. Vigils were held in her honor, with community members coming together to light candles, share memories, and offer support to the grieving family. Her school organized a memorial service, where teachers and classmates shared stories of Jocelyn's kindness, her infectious smile, and the positive impact she had on those around her. Counselors were made available to help students process their grief, as the loss of a peer in such a manner was a heavy burden for young minds to bear. In the wake of her passing, Jocelyn's mother, Alexis, became a vocal advocate for justice, not only for her daughter, but for all children who have been victims of violence. She spoke before Congress, stating she was an innocent kid doing kid things. She did not deserve to have her life ripped away from her and our family. Her courage and determination to seek justice resonated with many, highlighting the profound impact Jocelyn had during her short life. Jocelyn's story is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring impact one individual can have on their community. Her memory continues to inspire acts of kindness, advocacy for child safety, and a collective commitment to ensuring that such tragedies are prevented in the future. On the evening of June 16, 2024, 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray left her North Houston apartment, telling her mother she was going to visit a nearby convenience store. The store, a familiar spot for local residents, was just a short walk from her home. Surveillance footage from the store captured Jocelyn arriving around 12:17 a.m. on June 17th. She was seen wearing a light-colored hoodie and jeans, her long hair cascading over her shoulders. In the footage, Jocelyn appeared to be in good spirits, casually browsing the aisles. At approximately 12:58 a.m., she was seen near the store's entrance, engaged in conversation with two adult males. These men were later identified as 26-year-old Franklin Jose Pena Ramos and 22-year-old Johan Jose Martinez Rangel, both Venezuelan nationals. According to witness statements, the men approached Jocelyn under the pretense of asking for directions. It's believed that during this interaction, they lured her away from the safety of the store. The exact details of their conversation remain unknown, but subsequent events suggest that Jocelyn left the store willingly in their company. Tragically, this would be the last time Jocelyn was seen alive. Later that day, concerned family members reported her missing when she failed to return home. A search was initiated, and on June 19th, her lifeless body was discovered in a shallow bayou under a bridge in North Houston. She was found partially clothed, with her hands bound, and showing signs of sexual assault. The Harris County Medical Examiner's Office later confirmed that Jocelyn had been strangled to death. The brutality of the crime sent shockwaves through the Houston community. Law enforcement agencies quickly mobilized, reviewing surveillance footage and gathering witness testimonies to piece together Jocelyn's final moments. The investigation led to the swift arrest of Pena Ramos and Martinez Rangel, who now face capital murder charges for their alleged involvement in this heinous act. As the community mourned the loss of a bright young life, questions arose about how such a tragedy could occur and what could be done to prevent similar incidents in the future. The case of Jocelyn Nungaray serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that can lurk even in familiar surroundings and the importance of vigilance in safeguarding our children. In the immediate aftermath of Jocelyn Nungaray's tragic death, the Houston Police Department launched a comprehensive investigation to bring the perpetrators to justice. Detectives began by meticulously reviewing surveillance footage from the convenience store where Jocelyn was last seen. The footage revealed Jocelyn interacting with two adult males near the store's entrance around 12:58 a.m. on June 17, 2024. These individuals were later identified as 26-year-old Franklin Jose Pena Ramos and 22-year-old Johan Jose Martinez Rangel, both Venezuelan nationals. Investigators utilized advanced facial recognition technology and cross-referenced immigration records to identify the suspects. It was discovered that both men had entered the United States illegally earlier that year. Further investigation revealed that one of the suspects was still wearing an ankle monitor from a prior immigration detention at the time of his arrest. Upon identifying the suspects, law enforcement agencies coordinated efforts to apprehend them swiftly. Both men were located and arrested without incident. During interrogations, inconsistencies in their statements, coupled with forensic evidence, strengthened the case against them. DNA evidence collected from the crime scene matched samples obtained from the suspects, providing critical support for the prosecution's case. The Harris County District Attorney's Office charged Pena Ramos and Martinez Rangel with capital murder, kidnapping, and aggravated sexual assault. Given the severity of the crime, District Attorney Kim Ogg announced that her office would seek the death penalty for both defendants. Throughout the investigation, detectives faced several challenges. The suspects' transient lifestyles and lack of permanent addresses complicated efforts to track their movements. Additionally, language barriers and cultural differences required the assistance of specialized interpreters to ensure accurate communication during interviews. Despite these obstacles, the dedication and collaboration of law enforcement agencies ensured a thorough and timely investigation, bringing those responsible for Jocelyn's tragic death to justice. As the legal process unfolds, the community remains vigilant, seeking justice for Jocelyn and striving to prevent such tragedies in the future. In the aftermath of Jocelyn Nungaray's tragic death, attention turned to the two individuals accused of committing this heinous act: Franklin Jose Pena Ramos and Johan Jose Martinez Rangel. Both men, Venezuelan nationals, were charged with capital murder in connection with Jocelyn's death. Franklin Jose Pena Ramos, 26, and Johan Jose Martinez Rangel, 22, hailed from Venezuela, a country that has faced significant political and economic turmoil in recent years. Seeking better opportunities, many Venezuelans have fled their homeland, often undertaking perilous journeys to reach countries like the United States. Pena Ramos and Martinez Rangel were among those who left Venezuela, eventually making their way to the U.S. According to U.S. Border Patrol records, Martinez Rangel was apprehended near El Paso, Texas, on March 14, 2024, after entering the country illegally. He was released the same day with a notice to appear in court at a later date. Similarly, Pena Ramos was apprehended on May 28, 2024, under comparable circumstances and was also released with a notice to appear. Details about their lives prior to arriving in the United States remain scarce. There is limited public information regarding their personal histories, employment, or any prior criminal activities in Venezuela or elsewhere. This lack of background information has left many questions unanswered about the factors that may have led to their alleged involvement in such a grievous crime. The fact that both suspects were in the United States illegally became a focal point in the aftermath of Jocelyn's murder. Their illegal entry and subsequent release with notices to appear in court ignited debates over U.S. immigration policies and enforcement practices. Critics argued that the current system allowed potentially dangerous individuals to remain in the country unchecked, while others emphasized the need for comprehensive immigration reform to address the complexities of such cases. In response to the incident, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) lodged immigration detainers against both men, ensuring that they would remain in custody even if they were able to post bond. This action underscored the severity with which authorities viewed the case and highlighted the intersection of criminal justice and immigration enforcement. Following their arrests, both Pena Ramos and Martinez Rangel were charged with capital murder, kidnapping, and aggravated sexual assault. Given the gravity of the charges, each was held on a $10 million bond. Additionally, federal immigration holds were placed on them, preventing their release from custody under any circumstances. In December 2024, Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg announced that her office would seek the death penalty for both defendants, citing the particularly heinous nature of the crime. This decision was met with a mix of support and controversy, reflecting the broader national debate over capital punishment. As of now, both men remain in custody, awaiting trial. The legal proceedings are expected to be lengthy, with numerous pre-trial motions and hearings anticipated. The case has drawn significant media attention, not only because of the brutal nature of the crime, but also due to the broader implications it holds for discussions on immigration policy and criminal justice in the United States. The community continues to grapple with the loss of Jocelyn, seeking justice for her untimely death, while also reflecting on the systemic issues highlighted by this tragic case. As the legal process unfolds, many hope that it will bring some measure of closure to Jocelyn's family and serve as a catalyst for meaningful discussions and reforms. In the aftermath of Jocelyn Nungaray's tragic death, the Houston community was engulfed in profound grief. Family, friends, and neighbors gathered to honor her memory, sharing stories of her caring spirit and love for animals. Vigils and memorials were held, with attendees calling upon the justice system for action. The case also ignited political and social debates, particularly concerning immigration policies. Texas lawmakers introduced the Justice for Jocelyn Act, aiming to enhance the detention and tracking of illegal aliens entering the United States. The legislation was named in her memory, reflecting the case's impact on national discussions about immigration and border security. Jocelyn's family publicly expressed their grief and called for justice. Her mother, Alexis Nungaray, testified before Congress, sharing the profound impact of her daughter's loss and emphasizing the need for accountability. The family also addressed the political debates surrounding the case, expressing a desire for justice without their tragedy being used for political gain. The broader community responded with support, attending funeral services and celebrations of Jocelyn's life. Public figures and community leaders participated, reflecting the widespread impact of her death. In the legal arena, Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg announced that her office would seek the death penalty in the capital murder case of Jocelyn Nungaray. This decision underscored the severity of the crime and the commitment to pursuing justice. Jocelyn's tragic death not only devastated her family and community, but also sparked national conversations about immigration, justice, and the protection of vulnerable individuals. Her memory continues to be honored through legislative efforts and community solidarity, reflecting a collective resolve to prevent such tragedies in the future. As we conclude this reflection on the life and legacy of Jocelyn Nungaray, it's essential to remember her not solely as a victim of a tragic crime, but as a vibrant young girl whose presence deeply touched those around her. Born on December 27, 2011, Jocelyn embodied the enchantment and joy of the Christmas season. Her family and friends recall her as a caring individual with a profound love for animals and a bright future ahead. In the wake of her untimely passing, the Houston community and beyond have come together to honor her memory. A GoFundMe campaign was established to support her mother and younger brother, allowing them the space and time to grieve. Additionally, online memorials have been created, providing platforms for loved ones and well-wishers to share stories, photos, and tributes, ensuring that Jocelyn's spirit continues to resonate. Jocelyn's story serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of safeguarding our children and fostering safe communities. Organizations such as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, and Prevent Child Abuse America are dedicated to preventing child victimization and supporting affected families. Engaging with and supporting these organizations can make a significant difference in preventing similar tragedies. As we remember Jocelyn, let us commit to proactive involvement in our communities. By advocating for child safety, supporting relevant organizations, and fostering environments where children can thrive without fear, we honor her memory. Together, we can work towards a future where such tragedies are prevented, justice is served, and families receive the support they need during times of unimaginable loss. In closing, may Jocelyn's legacy inspire us to champion the protection and well-being of all children, ensuring that her light continues to shine through our collective efforts. For those wishing to learn more about Jocelyn's life and the community's remembrance, a celebration of life service was held in her honor. The service, attended by family, friends, and community members, serves as a testament to the profound impact Jocelyn had on those around her.